Hello, this is Tracy Pratt at Rodriguez High School Library, and I prepared a step-by-step tutorial on how to customize the ribbons in Destiny Discover. So part one, I'm going to talk about how you change the content ribbons in Discover. So first, what is a ribbon? These are the rows that are dedicated to a certain type of content or certain content categories. For example, recently added books, popular titles, and so on. So your first step is to go to the menu and you're going to scroll down to admin, which has a little wrench as an icon. And it's going to open up a new window. Go down to display options, go to features, content, and you will get this screen. And there's two parts to feature content. First part is there's two columns at the top. So you can put notices, you can put announcements. I don't really like it, so I don't ever put anything there. And then the second half or the bottom half of this is the content categories. And there's two content types of content categories. There's standard and simplified. Now, standard is what all of the ribbons are arranged and look like when you are logged in or the student is logged in. The simplified is what you see when you do not have anybody logged in. This is just what anybody coming on the page is going to see. So you've got to arrange your ribbons in the exact same way to be identical whether you're logged in or not. And it took me forever to figure this out because sometimes it would look one way and sometimes it would look another, and it would drive me crazy. But I finally figured it out. And so I'm giving you the tip. You've got to have both tabs arranged the same way. So first of all, you don't get to determine what the title of your ribbons are. These are all predetermined, and all you have the option to do is click them on or off. So for example, I don't like the learning link, so that box is unclicked. Now you can change the order that the topics are in, and this is something I kind of mess with all the time. When you hover your cursor over the edge of the box, you'll get that four-way arrow pop up, and then you simply click and drag it which way you want. For example, I always like the top ribbon to be the topics, which are the shortcut links to searches. All right, so once you've moved them all around and you've got them exactly the way you want them to look, scroll down to the very bottom of the page and click save. You don't really see it, so you got to remember to scroll down and save, because if you don't save it, well, there you go. It's not saved. All right, so now here's the part that I had a lot of fun with, and that was changing the topics. And that can be the predetermined set searches that I have set up for my library. Now, I genreified my library a couple of years ago, and so that was the focus of changing all of my topics. So here are some of the things you can do to topics. You can choose what picture it shows, so the image. You can select from the provided topics, or you can custom create your own. So here I have horror, which is a standard one, but I also have realistic fiction, which was not included in an option as a topic. You can choose the subject tags that select which books. You can add your own custom subject terms, and I'm going to go into more about how to do that and how to tweak it a little bit later. So here is an example of what the standard elementary icons and topics look like. And here's what the standard middle and high icons look like. So really, the subject terms are pretty similar, but the picture is different. And of course, you can change the picture. So here is an example of mine, which is all customized. And you can see here that I have a lot of different, it looks very different from what the standard is. So let me look at sports just for example. So these are some of my sports books. And so they all have the sports sticker. And I wanted, when I genreified, I thought it would be confusing to the student because it was so different from the way we had it before. So I wanted the icons in Destiny to match the icons or the stickers of what we have on the physical books. So what they're going to actually see in the library. And then, of course, I wanted a topic for each of the book genres since I genreified. And I actually have like 14 different stickers that I have in distinct sections in the library. And some were not standard topics that I could just import. I had to create them from scratch. Um, so I created classics, I created realistic fiction, romance, LGBTQ, and easy books. Um, it does not, you are not limited to just like, oh, I have a section in the library that I want to have a search button for. It could be any specialized topic or collection, and it doesn't have to have a label on the library. I mean, that's just something I wanted to do. So for this example, this is Winner's Challenge, and this is a English teacher that I have at my site who offers extra credit for students who read books off of this book list, which are high Lexile reading. And so I had to have a list printed out, and the students would come in, and then it was all finding it. And then I finally figured out how to put it in Destiny, which I thought was totally cool. All right, so enough about what it looks like. Here's how to do it. So first, we're going to create a custom topic. So on the topic ribbon, you're going to click the pencil to edit. We're going to choose custom topics. And now you can import, if you've never done this before, you can import either the elementary or middle high, depending, of course, what level you're at. And since I'm high school, this is what the high school, but it would be very similar for elementary. So you can either click on to choose or not choose any of these categories. And if you change your mind later, you can always go in and delete them. If you're like, oh, I don't want a dystopian category, that's too fine grained, or nah, I don't have a lot of interest in sports or whatever the case might be. Then you will click import. At this point, you're going to start customizing each topic. You can change the image of the imported icons and you can add new topics. Plus, and by doing that, you're going to create new subject terms and the image to go with a new custom topic. So one moment for, if you've imported topics, you can't add any subjects to those topics. So for like sports, I'm like, oh, they didn't have hockey fiction. But I cannot go in there and add hockey fiction as a subject term because once I try to do that, I end up erasing all the pre-filled ones. And then I'm limited, I think, to 5. That's what I would kept running into. From scratch. So I found this out the hard way. So it's not perfect, but don't erase all your subject terms that the standard topics come with unless you really want to do that. All right, next we're going to change the image. So get into topics. You're going to choose your category. And once you're in the section, then we're going to edit. And you will get the edit topic screen. So it's a little pop-up box. And you simply click on the icon image. And I don't use the stock icons. I upload an icon and then you choose your file. This is very standard. You can adjust the scale of the image, and some images work better than others. So if it's something really unique, not one of these labels that I just got from Dimco, you may want 2 or 3 images to play with to see which one would work best with your little image screen there. And once you have it the way you look like, then click accept to save. So here's my tip. Like this is a whole project. I'm going to go in and create custom topics for Destiny. So you need to decide what your topics are going to be and then go to Google Images and find and save all of your images as JPEG files before you start. So you just go to Google Images, click on the image, right click, and then save image as. And I have a little folder that I keep on my desktop called Library Picks, or it might just be Destiny Ribbons, or whatever my little project is. I create an image folder so that I can go in and save all my images. It saves a lot of time. All right, so how do I add a new topic? So now I have my images and now I know how to put them in. I want to add a topic. So you're going to click add a blank topic. You're going to type in the topic name, add in your image, just like we discussed, and then we're going to add your subjects. So what I like to do is use subject terms that are in the library catalog, the Destiny catalog. And now when you open this up, that default drop-down box is keyword. You need to change it to subjects. It'll let you put up to 5 subjects, but you can only put 1 keyword. So that's pretty limited. So if you want an expansive search, then definitely change it to subjects. So as you add subjects, you're going to click the plus button and then you'll save. So for here, my example, I have a sewing class, a sewing club. So I'm going to create a button in Destiny for sewing. And so here are my 5, and I looked these up in my Destiny catalog and looked at my actual books on sewing and fashion, and this is what I got. Okay, so now I have all my topics in there. Well, you can change the order they appear on the ribbon. So you simply put your mouse on the little menu button, and if you hover it there, you're going to get your 4-way arrow, and you simply drag it up and down. I have my topics arranged in the order that they're in the library. So when you walk in, it's realistic fiction, then sports, then fantasy, then sci-fi, and so on. And so that's just the way I like to do it. You can put them in alphabetical order. I mean, it's completely obviously up to the way you want it to look and what makes sense for you and your clients. And this is where I'm going to put my video tutorial. So I am going to post this on YouTube, and I'm going to include the link to this tutorial, the slideshow on there. So, and it has my contact information. So please feel free to contact me, email me, and let me know if you have any questions or you have ideas or cool tips I would love to have. Thank you.